Hello, lovelies. How are you doing? In the UK, it's sweltering weather. It's been 90 degrees plus the past few days. So, with a full moon in Aquarius, the water carrier, that's been really true for me. I've been carrying lots of watering cans throughout my garden to keep it alive because it's very toasty at the moment. And not sure when we're going to get some rain yet either. So I love the sun and I love my garden as well. So it's been a real boot camp for me past few days in literally carrying all of this water all over. And yeah, just again, the full moon in Aquarius being emotionally free, as in free to let your emotions flow and not be taken over by them because of old stories on one level, and also being solution focused. So when things happen, what can I learn from it and what can I do to create a different outcome in the future? And I don't really know what I could have done because no matter how many water butts I have, they wouldn't have been enough for all this time period. So that's something to bear in mind, isn't it? Often we can't create solutions. And this whole wave spell of Blue Storm is really about acceptance of where we are and how to feel what we feel and not repress that and create coping mechanisms that distort our reality. The more that we can become emotionally intelligent and have tools such as emotional freedom technique to work with the triggers, because life has its ups and downs, and that's what life is. It's full of challenges and amazing adventures as well. So today is Sunday, August the 14th, 2022. And I've been meaning to make a video for the past few days because it was my waves, it was my mind day yesterday and had an amazing day. But to be honest, the practicalities that I've got to do at the moment, I just haven't got the energy or the grey matter to hold it all. And again, that's something that happens, and especially what's been happening in the last 2 years, is our brain does go into survival mode. And this is often why we've got brain fog as well, because everything comes down to what we need right here, right now. So the more that you tap on your, I use a metaphor of your hard drive, defrag it of all the emotional storylines that are coming up. And the way that you do that is because you'll get triggered, and that always, always, always takes you back to old stories. So when we do that, and when we record all our patterns and all our history and create a manual for ourselves, then we can see what's coming up, why it's coming up, what the next lesson to be learned is. And in particular with today, because we are at step 21 using Christopher Witecki's method, check him out if you haven't already. 2 and 1. So 2 is the emotional story, the moon. 1 is the heart, the sun, how we radiate our sun. And the more that we heal and shift these stories, heal the shadow story, the more we connect to the galactic sun. Because remember, that's what we're here for at this time. Today, we are on a very powerful day here. As you can see, it's another Akashic Record day, and we also had one on day 7, which was my mum's Mayan sign. And so these 2 days, Akashic Record. And this is taking us through a process. And something that I wanted to say as well, which I've been doing this for 11 years now, and it just dawned on me at the perfect time about the process, because again, I don't go out and learn this by rote. I don't go and read up loads of stuff on it. I read some things. That's why I don't recommend any particular reading schedule, or I say to people, use this process. Move the blue tech every day. Start to learn about things that intuitively are right for you, because you are on a different spiral to me. There is no one right way to learn this. Everybody has their own particular spiral, and that's what this is about. It's about unlearning our conditioned mindset in order to download source code, galactic sun, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call that. And so today we are on Moon in Pisces at 22 degrees, which is magical number right now for healing our addictions, healing our relationships with other people, and primarily, of course, ourselves, so that we can allow our sensitivity. And that's essential for amping up that psychic muscle so that we can stream and download and be clear of distorting that as well with our own filter that has come from wounding. So the more that we do that work, the clearer that we get. So back to the point that I was making. So the point is, with every wave spell, and you see where these circles are, that's the start of a wave spell. Okay, so each wave spell is a DNA process, and we all come in as part of one. So if you're a number one, for example, then you're an initiator. And of course, it depends where you come in on the cycle as well. So we've got red, white, blue, yellow, and green, whatever part of the process is. So, for example, because we're yellow star today, yellow star is the 8th Mayan sign, and its planet is Venus, and that's twinned with blue monkey. And as a yellow, it's a manifestation. So the way that I see this is being the star that we really are, and the more that we learn about our star code, our Mayan info, our patterns, then the more wowness we live, the more amazing adventure we live. Because as we get clear, as an initiate, we wake up, we start learning that life isn't how we've been told it is, and huge stuff happening right now around that, which is so wonderful and encouraging. Lots of things coming up now to support people really coming into their sovereignty. So when we wake up, again, we're being initiated, we're being switched on, if you like, and we're remembering that this whole conditioned mindset, this culture that we're in, is not real and it's not true. And the Gregorian calendar is a device that's created to keep us out of alignment with natural time. So if you're Indigenous people, so for example, if you go back to the Celts in the UK, pagan people, they went to sacred places on the land. And these sacred places, what we call ley lines, meridian lines, they are all over the world. And in particular, where I live in Glastonbury, I live just outside Glastonbury in the Libra part of the zodiac. There's a huge zodiac there. There are 52 ley lines going in. It's the heart chakra, it's the third eye chakra. And sacred places are the chakra points of the world. So historically, thousands and thousands of years, people have been making pilgrimages to these sites. And the more sites that you go to, the more that you connect to that energy, and that energy connects to you. And it's an amazing experience. The more that you, so like, for example, if you've been initiated by doing Reiki, you become a lot more sensitive about energy. You feel the energy in your body. And remember, another way of looking at energy is it's love, simply love that comes in on the planet. The planet's love for you, your love for the planet. And a lot of this has been switched off because in order to live the 3D existence, the consumer existence, you cannot have that running at the same time, full strength. So the more that you heal, the more that you align with natural cycles, places, and can't say this enough really. Heal, stop doing any poisonous activities at all. Because most of what we consider to be treats, rewards, they aren't. They're very damaging to human beings. And in order to progress as an adept, I'm using mystery school wordology here. So in order to be able to move forward on that, you have to forego the old rituals and activities, programming that goes with the old stuff in order to do the new stuff. So again, it's Venus is about growing up, maturation. This whole cycle is about that, going down into the underworld. Venus being the evening star, coming up being the morning star. There's whole cycles out there and books on that. And again, that's another one to know for yourself. Are you an evening star? Are you a morning star? As and when it comes in. So becoming an expert on yourself is fundamentally the way to go, because when you do that, you put yourself first, you focus on yourself primarily. This is the key to Leo, this is a key to the personality. The distortion and smoke and mirrors game is focusing on what's out there and other people. It's the 10,000 things of the Tao that you cannot control, but you can control yourself. And your mind, your ego has to be brought into check, has to be trained again, has to be rewired in order to allow yourself to feel all of your old stories. And this is where we have to go consciously, not by being unconsciously in a trance, somebody else doing that for us. This is about conscious awareness and learning how to work with yourself and that part of you that doesn't feel good enough because of DNA, history, ancestral programming. And so this is essential to move through this process now. And so in terms of, like I say, with Yellow Star, so Yellow Star is the very last process. They go in the Green Castle. The Green Castle is really about being in our heart center and being authentic and doing the maturation process. So as the very final one, it completes with Yellow Sun. And so Yellow Cosmic Sun is the very last day, and again, Akashic Record. And so what needs to shift in the DNA so that we can hold more light. And as we do all of these processes, so each one lasts 260 days. This one began on the 19th of May in Taurus. So what is manifest? Okay, and so what is manifest because of our energy, because of how we love ourselves, because of how we're in sovereignty, by what we'll allow, what we don't allow in our world. So, you know, making very conscious decisions on this. Most of our way of being has been created from an unconscious place, just following patterns by rote, unconsciously, and until we're ready to go to the next level. And all of this is pre-written. So it's trusting the process as well, which sometimes can be very challenging, but knowing that if you keep doing this work on yourself, you will come out the other side. Okay, so Yellow Star process is here. Now, all of these processes go through the same numbers. And another way to do this, sorry, I'm pointing to the wrong one, aren't I? Where are we? Yellow Star, there, okay. all of these processes go through the same formula. Now, again, because these run down in a spiral, you'll notice that when you go across yellow star, it begins with the number 8. Okay, and again, this is quite complex to try and explain how this works. But each process, so whether you're a red dragon, any one of these, it all follows the same process. So because it runs through on a 20-day, the first one you have always is the magnetic. And then it runs down through a process. So remember, there's only 13 days. Okay, and then you go to the next WaveSpell. So all of these are taking us through a shift process, a 13-day process. So you run through these, and so by the time you get up to the top, the next number along is number 8. And what that means is we're now in the next WaveSpell. And in every following on WaveSpell on day 8, you integrate the previous one. Okay, so we're initiating and then we're integrating. And of course, not all of these number 1 days are a gap day. They're not a portal day. They're not Akashic Record. You can see the DNA strand here. But they all follow the same process. So number 1, initiation. Number 2 is integration. So you're going to integrate what you began here over and over again in every WaveSpell. Of course, each WaveSpell brings different energy, but it takes you through the same process. Then you're going to go into Luna, so the emotional story. Then you're going to go into the gateway point. So again, remember, each of these is 20-day process by the time you're coming back into these, because you're going down the spiral. But if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the linear process. It misses one every time. Okay, then you're going to come into alchemy, manifestation, the overtone, the spectral, manifestation, self-existing, spectral, overtone, crystal, rhythmic, cosmic, and mystic. So I was just writing these out yesterday when it came to me. So let's just pause there while I get my piece of paper. Okay, so, and I will make this into a document as soon as I can and share it. So number 1, initiate. What am I attracting? So remember, it's magnetic, number 1. So when we begin, so again, you can use this. I have created a document for people that takes you through recording every day. And I know a lot of people may not have time to do this right now, but whatever little bit you can do for yourself, whenever you can, remember you're creating future patterns. So if you can just do something on one day, even if it's just for 10 minutes, and then start to expand this, because remember, it's you that is creating the universe for you. And in doing so, you're helping everybody else. And that's the shift consciousness. Focus on the self, focus on healing the self, becoming very aware, and every day start increasing the time that you can spend on that process for yourself. And that's how we change the world. Okay, so number 1, initiate. What am I attracting? Now, the more that you heal, the more that you will be able to allow yourself to see all your flaws